Remember, as we continue our phase in the education and most importantly, information and knowledge collecting and fact finding on our mission to asset acquisition, it's important to understand what can happen even into the face of some of the biggest bubbles and biggest stock market runs, and even companies that sold products that produced profit that were giant corporations that had physical buildings and merchandise that they provided a service to the customer, that these companies and these stocks that don't ever seem like they could fall down to nothing can and often do. Just like if you look back at the Kmart's, the Sears, in this case, what we have on here, the J.C. Penney's, once a high flyer and looking like nothing could stop it, is now essentially an OTC traded company. It went through several bankruptcies, and the stock is sitting at 14 cents, and the company is essentially dead. And within a matter of several years to a decade, you might not see any J.C. Penney stores left around anywhere, as they're falling fast. The way the Sears, Kmart, Farmer Jack, right? You got all these companies that were high flyers and they just flopped and went bankrupt. And this is a classic example. If you would have told somebody in 2004, 5, 6, 7, and 8 that they were going to go down into bankruptcy and essentially be a stock trading in penny stocks as a penny stock on the OTC market, everybody back then would have said you're nuts, right? Because that was a real company that was doing great, right? They had lots of stores, they had lots of merchandise, they had many millions of customers, and they produced a giant profit. And then it all went to shit, and it seems like in a blink of an eye. And you can see a mere 20 years later, they're trading at nothing more than a penny stock. And this is just a fair and a warning that you should be looking into these major companies that were once producing massive returns for their investors that later went bankrupt and went essentially to zero. And the people that were rich that were investing in them lost all their money, right? This is the education that you need, because it's something else that keeps you informed to sidestep the criminals and the charlatans out there that say crypto and Bitcoin, because where the price is, it can never go to near zero, or it can never go below a certain price. Same thing with these other coins. Even if they pump from a penny to $1,000, that coin can still go back to a penny, right? The price that it's at and how far it moved means nothing in terms of how far it can come crashing down and essentially go to zero, right? It's very important. I hope you enjoy this next video and the updates and some of the breaking news that I got in education that is top of the line, most accurate, non-biased, and impartial that you can get in the crypto sphere. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not showing anything down below. It's just straight free facts and education as we try to hit our road to 10,000 followers to spread the message. Peace and love. Enjoy this video. Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, bell notification, like the channel, subscribe, and share. To sidestep and audible the charlatans, the paid promoters, and the fleece heisters and shysters and organized market manipulators that have infiltrated almost all major in social media channels, corporate media, the propagandist machine that is primed and pumped. And you can already see these articles as old Vincenzo gives you that education and most importantly information to help you diagnose and discard the fleece heisters and shysters. And you can see some of these headlines starting to get primed and pumped out now. Bears beware of Bitcoin to enter fucking bull phase, right? Out of news, BTC priming the pump by those shysters, not giving you the real details. Crypto news, organized NFTs push Bitcoin network activity to near 2-year high. What this means for BTC price. What it means, it could be much of nothing, or it could be much of a price is about to dump because there's activity at an all-time high because there's people trying to get out on the most recent pump, right? It just depends the way you want to look at it. Craig Wright, Bitcoin copyright claim rejected by UK court. Here's what happened in the Nobody Cares news department. ARK Invest details ultra bullish reason why Bitcoin is primed to tap 1.4 million by 2030. And let's remember Arc Innovation by ZY Crypto, a couple of shysters. They're Arc Innovation with Kathy Wood. Her funds are down 60 to 80%. And two of them, she actually stopped and dissolved the fund because they were so atrocious. And you need to sidestep some of these articles and the fleece heisting and shysting that goes on in the corporate media. Crypto Potato, Bitcoin loses 23K. Hey, Crypto Potato, shout out to whatever that organization is. At least he's not priming the pump on his headline right there, right? Not even going to get into those articles from those shysters. But you can see we talked about what somebody might call me a shyster for my $12.69 target in the Bitcoin price in a couple of years, is I think we're in a massive just a massive roll over top, right? I think this is something that's been long overdue, and I think this is going to go down as one of the biggest pump and dumps in stock market history. Just to, not because of how quick the pump happened or the percentage, just how big it got, how much more than just one coin it was. It was a whole, just much, much bigger than anything the Dow did, from what I can see, just the amount of pure money that was thrown into there and the amount of nonsense and just shyster activity that was really going on with NFTs and the monkey phase. I mean, the whole thing was just nonsense, promoting monkey pictures and shit. I mean, it was just, I remember reporting on it last year about this time and just telling you it was the peak of the hysteria. And it was just a joke. I mean, it really was just the kind of nonsense and the DeFi and promoting monkeys. And oh my God, I got to get the picture of a monkey. It was just insane. And that's what old Vincenzo started making his channel, to kind of help you sidestep all the nonsense that was out there and to really give you something real value. And you can see here in the value that I'm talking about is, look at what happened. We came up to this 24,059.08 and we rounded the top. I told you, watch the volume. The volume's been declining after the most recent pump, because you can see in the daily time frame the volume after the great dump in the way short left machine. You can see we had the dump, the volume pick up, but then you can see the mean of the volume in that line. It just tailed off, and then it barely moved up, and then now it's coming back down again on that little pump. So the volume really didn't lead the price. The volume came up a little bit and the price went up, but then the volume quickly leveled off and went down as the price traded sideways. And we were telling you when we were up into this area that it could come down from the 200-day, but oftentimes they like to form this up and sideways consolidation, right? And then run up to major upper resistance as the volume continues to decline. And then you come back down to the first underneath support, 19,049.13, and brief support right here on the 200 in the short term, where you could do something like this. And then you come back down in sort of a hook-nosed Jew bearish reversal pattern, right? And it's doing that beautifully. So I would look immediately in the short term. How do you interact with the 200 in green and the parallel running now short-term moving average 50 right here at about 20,887.69, and then you got your major resistance support. I mean, that starts at 19,981.30 down to the top part of this blue trading zone, right? So that's what I would look at. And you can also see this old bear flag as we extended it out. If we just extend it out even farther, we're not going to change the angle, but we're just going to extend it out. You can see it runs pretty damn close to that 200-day moving average, as this was old support and resistance back here. You can see support, resistance, support, resistance, and then more of a trade through and then a trade out of it, right? But if you extend those lines, they can act as nice support and resistance out into the future, and that's what I'm looking at for the Bitcoin price and in the immediate short term. And that's what this video is really about. The XRP price, you can see we're at the 37 cents, and look at that. In the last daily time frame, we did actually look back down to that 37 cents. As we told you, we've been in this tightening consolidation, and the underneath support right now is obviously the mid ground of the 37 cents. We can't move that because that's been major support and resistance. We obviously have our major 50 cents on a breakup, but your initial support is 37 cents to try to remain short-term bullish. If you get below it, you got your uptrending support at about 35.25 cents. And if you break that, you come back into this area in the VP volume indicator range in red between 32 and 29.5 cents. And that's what we're going to watch out for you in the short term right now. This is your pattern right now, your upper resistance and lower support. And eventually, this is in the next few days, couple of weeks, this is going to eventually have to break up or break down out of there. And a breakdown target is all the way down here to hit that underneath target that we had for quite some time. Oops. And that, oops. Yeah, stop moving shit. That would be down here at 18 to 20 cents. If we break to the upside out of this in some kind of bullish fashion, your major upper resistance would be 50 cents, just like it was back there, which was the first upper resistance that we had in this pattern that we're in. Then we hit lower support for the second group, first group back there. And now we're hitting our second group of major upper resistance. And that's what we're going to continue to watch out for in the immediate short term in the XRP price. And then we can look exactly at the Doge and another shyster coin. And this should really be on the shyster list, but I have it on this list because a lot of people, for some reason, like the shyster coins when it was the meme trading that was taking over the stock market and the cryptocurrency sphere and the rest of it. Everybody wanted to talk about this, and you, my audience, were way in this. And this was one of my first calls that I made telling you this was a shyster coin in the way loft machine when we were way up here in the Elon Musk in the Saturday Night Live. And I told you this was a head and shoulders topping reversal pattern when this was the only thing shown. We were sitting right up here at the top, and I told you what was coming. A crash with Elon Musk was going to coincide their orgasmic top, and then we were going to form the head and shoulders, break the neckline, and on a pattern breakdown was 9 cents. And you can see last year we actually did hit, I believe not, we actually got the 4.5 cents, right? So we actually did clear that 9 cents. And I said one day way up there, when we got into the future, this would be below 1 penny again, and it is going to be below 1 penny. And I'm going to be vindicated as this is nothing but a shyster coin that it has an unlimited supply and it has an unlimited amount of coins that it can create for its history, and it creates massive amounts of them per day and dwarfs, makes XRP, the coins they put out each month right now, it dwarfs it, right? They put so many coins out in this, it's naturally going to drive this back below a cent, and it's going to be floating between fractions of a penny because there's just so many coins out there in existence, and it's a never ending circulation and repetitive feedback and cycle, right? But you can see why you're all here. We had this huge pump, and I told you it was going to get rejected either here or here. And then when it got up here with the wicks, I said I was coming down, and it came right back down to the major underneath support on the top part of the orange trading zone, aka last line of defense shithouse, right? And then we came up here again and got rejected. And eventually this is going to end up back down here. And eventually it's going to end up way, way down there because I think this coin is going below a penny. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.